Welcome to the Waiting Queue podcast for 4/1/2020. I'm here with Cross Knights, the one, the only, the Cross Knights. How you doing, man?
You sure there's not other Cross Knights? I didn't actually pick as original as a name as I had hoped.
I mean, you had to put LP at the end of your name so somebody else grabbed Cross Knights, right?
Yeah, the problem is they're an actual thing. The Cross Knights existed.
The Holy Cross Knights, the
Yeah,
football team. That you're a football player,
yeah.
right?
I've destroyed them though. I got a higher Google ranking than them now.
You love football. What?
Mm,
How have you been third person? Oh, we don't have a third. Okay.
yeah.
Well,
Whatever, it's not too unusual.
I've been doing just fine. Thanks for asking, Cross. It's been
So, how have you been doing?
these past like
Wasn't
6
talking to you,
months.
talking to the third person. How's the third person? Oh, sorry. All right, I guess you should say them.
So how have I been doing, Kenny? Me.
Mm.
Uh, it's it's been a batshit last 6 months. Let me tell you. Since the last podcast, it's been just a lot of shit has happened. Obviously, of course, our good friend Private Buckus unfortunately passed away. Which we would like to dedicate this podcast to our good friend Private Buckus. And I've got an update video coming along. Give a few more thoughts on that, and Cross has his update as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's been a little tough.
Yeah.
Still didn't feel like it's entirely real, to be completely honest.
Yeah, even though it's been like 6 months now. Like I think like 2 days ago, I just keep on saying, and I'm just like, I can't believe you're dead, dude. Like it just
Yeah,
every once in a while, I'm just like, what? Like it's just still not believable to me.
especially when you go to his like Steam page or you see him just on Discord, and you're like, "Fuck."
Yeah.
I just wish I could send you a message and like talk to you, you piece of garbage. Sorry, that's kind of mean, but
Yeah, it's fine. It's not like his father's gonna listen to this podcast or anything. Yeah.
by the way, his father.
But no,
I like talking to him.
it's crazy because I've made a joke repeatedly, not really on the podcast, but off it, that this is now a yearly podcast. And I like it better because when you listen to the last few podcasts, like major things happen in Cube's life every single time we do a podcast. Uh, I might be. I remember the last three, like nothing had happened in my life, but like just something crazy happened every single time. And like now's no different. Like we had that in person podcast with Buttkiss, and then he was gone less than a month later. So yeah, it's been rough.
Yeah, especially with editing video footage and stuff like that, because over the
Yeah, you've
past
been
6
doing
months,
a
I've
lot.
personally been. I had like a terabyte hard drive, an external hard drive, completely filled with video footage, like 100%. I don't know how I did it, but I managed to do it, and I went through all of it, and
Mhm.
I've edited it down to actual videos, uploaded a shit ton of stream footage up to the Twitch, or up to the Drive Not Found YouTube archive.
Yeah.
But no, it's been nice to get that
Mhm.
finished up. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's
and
been nice to just listen to Buckis's voice again and laugh with him and shit
yeah,
like that.
I just released a video that wasn't even that good of a video because I wasn't it, but like I didn't want to delete it because he was in it, and I just released that like a few minutes ago actually.
Yeah.
And yeah, and to the person that just said, "Oh my god, I missed you guys." We the last time we tried to do a podcast live, which was in August, I think, we had lost control of this channel, so we had to stream it to my channel. So you might not have seen it, but it's on
I
the.
uploaded to this channel.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's on here too. Cool.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure everything was consolidated as much as you can. But it's also up on the YouTube channel as well. It's pretty nice.
And it was a good podcast. I liked it.
Yeah, and thanks for showing up, guys. Like, I sincerely thought we wouldn't have a single person after years and years of doing nothing. So yeah, it's good to see you guys. A lot of old faces. A couple I don't quite recognize, but hey, other things that have happened to me personally. Oh, the coronavirus. That personally, I've been
That
me
happened to
alone.
you personally,
Of
did it?
course, yes.
Mm-hmm.
No, but the fucking coronavirus has happened since the last podcast. Like, it's been crazy. Gosh.
Yeah. And Cube is one of the people that still is working outside with old people coughing directly in his face. So
No, it's not the old people. They're worried about dying. It's the young people coughing in my face.
Well, then why are they getting paint? Why can't they wait 2 months?
Listen, they want to suffocate in their house from the paint fumes, so they can't
It's
open
like
the windows because it's too cold in Minnesota.
and the thing is, I get, like, not taking it as seriously in some states, I mean, you should, but, like, I'm in New York, there are currently more active cases here than anywhere in the country, and I'm not in the city. There are more cases in New York City than anywhere in the country. I'm several miles from the city, but, like, guess where people from the city are retreating to? Everywhere else in the state. There has been, like, confirmed deaths, I think 2 in my county, and there have been over 20 cases in my hometown.
Damn.
2 of the first 2 people that had it, though, have both recovered, which is, good because they've a bunch of crazy stuff has happened to them in the last few years with their family, so I'm glad they're okay, but, like, yeah, no, we've been on lockdown, like, in our house. 203 and I have only left 3 times in the last 3 weeks, and it's been to get food.
Yeah. Which, good job on that. Seriously.
Yeah.
There's a point when I remember you and 203 were talking to me, 203 as well.
Mhm.
You guys were like, yeah, I went to like a small get together of 5 people. Even that is irresponsible. You shouldn't be going out to hang out with people.
Yeah,
And we were playing
and
Monopoly and touching the same die too, so.
yeah, that could have been bad. Uh, but yeah, we actually went to a party a few days before we started taking it seriously because our friend joined the Air Force, and we're like, "What if we don't see him again?" And there was supposed to be like 15 people, but we are like, they probably all won't show up. There was over 40 people there,
Jesus.
so
Well, at least
I
when you
mean,
have people inviting people and
yeah, and 2 people tried to shake my hand because one of them was my friend's father. Hadn't seen him in a long time, and I was like, "Nope." And it happened again. I was like, "Nope." And they're like, "Oh, that's right." So, like, no one was taking it seriously back then.
I love
Ugh.
humanity. It's just great. But even like okay, so like Cross said, I'm still working at Home Depot.
Mhm.
Kill me. It's been over 3 years, just hit my 3 year mark, by the way. Oh, that was absolutely full of existential dread that day. Had to read some Lovecraft to act as an outlet.
It's
But
only been a seventh of your life.
Cross, why'd you have to put it like that? I'm gonna be at Home Depot longer than I've been at fucking middle school or high school, man.
Yeah,
That's gonna be scary.
when I was a dishwasher, there was that day that I realized that I had been a dishwasher for a fourth of my life,
Yeah, that's
and I
gotta.
was like, or was it a third? I think it was a third of my life because it was 8 years and I was, 24 or so. Yeah.
Yeah, but I've been working through the pandemic. They're offering double pay for overtime, so I've been taking advantage of that. I'm
Mhm.
trying to work my butt off until I get sick. I can rest when I'm sick, right?
I mean,
That's kind of what I'm telling
yeah,
myself.
but then you also have to, like,
Be sick.
not go anywhere where your mother is.
Yeah, yeah. She made
Uh,
me a couple face masks, which was really nice.
that is nice. Masks don't do a lot to protect, you from the virus, so it's mainly to protect other people from you.
When I get sick, yeah.
Yeah. Um,
We do not have surgical masks. We sold out of those ages ago. Just like
mhm.
everywhere in the country, we're low on supplies. So every person at Home Depot is supposed to keep 6 feet away from each other. That's not happening. Not at
No.
all. Like people
And
are
when
getting
we've
right
gone to
next
the
to each
store, it
other.
doesn't happen either.
Yeah.
It's
You get people
and
walking next to each other, like talking next
yeah.
to each other, coughing even. There's still people out there who don't cover their mouth when they cough. It's crazy to
Mm,
me.
yeah. Uh, so I don't know. It's all it's like it's gonna get bad soon in the United States. Like I've been following the charts every single day, and it's the confirmed cases are exponentially growing.
As the
And
pandemic does like this.
yep, and it's gonna get really bad in about a week. Like that's when I think the healthcare system might start collapsing. And it's to the point where like what if something else happens to you, like if you have like obviously a heart attack or even if you break your leg, you might not be able to get treatment for it easily. So everything else becomes more deadly. So, I should probably not try to get like too doom and gloom, but like, I kind of have this constant baseline anxiety about what's gonna happen that doesn't really go away.
I get it.
Uh, Yeah. And that's even with me being, I think, in one of the best positions in a country. Like we're away from people, we're on our own property. Um, if like all the stores blew up, we'd actually be okay for like 2 or 3 weeks probably.
But society, we live in a society, Cross,
Nah,
and that would be
prove it to
terrifying.
me. Prove it. I haven't seen them in I haven't seen them in a week. I don't know they're still there.
You got all these people just around the country going stir crazy. And they
Mm.
come out to Home Depot because we're one of the only stores open. In fact, it was the same way with GameStop.
Oh
GameStop was
god.
staying open for a long time because it's considered quote unquote essential retail.
They had some BS excuse that they were essential because they had certain accessories, like electronic accessories that you might need to say work at home if you were a computer job. But come on, get out of here. Like that's not.
Exactly, Glyphus.
I watched a whole video last night and they're like, okay, here's the real reason they were open. It's because of Doom and Animal Crossing.
Money, yeah, exactly. And then they shut down right after those launch days. Whoa, big
Yep.
surprise.
That's the reason they were. I think he's right. I think that's why they stayed open. They knew they'd make bank and they did.
They
Um,
made their money, pocketed it, and then just said fuck their employees.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of worker pressure to give them certain things, and they agreed to it. And then they decided to close down like 300 stores. So they might not actually. They're probably just going to fire all those employees.
Shit.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch that video I sent you from Camelot 331? He got audio footage from a leaked GameStop
Oh.
like top level conference call, like the top CEOs giving
Mhm.
bullshit excuses to the store managers. There's this one person being like, they straight up asked like, "Are we gonna put people? Are we gonna put people over profits or profits over people?" And then
Mhm.
their response was, we're taking a day by day look at things. We're having a daily conversation about keeping the stores open. It's day by day.
Yeah,
You know,
sometimes we think about like saving human lives, and other times, profits. And today's a profit day, but tomorrow we might actually care about you and your family. But
like what
check
are we
back.
gonna do? Animal Crossing is launching in a week. How are we gonna not keep the stores open until then? Like,
What are you
you telling
stupid?
us to miss out on all that money? So what? A couple people die. A couple thousand people die.
Also,
Uh,
who is buying physical copies of Animal Crossing? Buy the digital one. I
especially
guess
during a
people that live
pandemic,
far.
at least.
Yeah,
But
it's
there are still places in the world, though, that are in America, especially, of course, because it's America,
mhm,
that have extremely shit internet. So that might be why.
that's true. That's true.
Like, extremely shit.
I gotta check my internet privilege. Like I forget. Some people are probably on dial-up still.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Well, so we can let's start from the last podcast. So after the last podcast,
Mhm.
myself, Buttkiss, both left Cross's house, and I drove back to Minnesota, or I flew back to Minnesota, and then Buckus
On the
drove.
wet trip.
Actually, Buckus drove to Minnesota, and we hung out for a while. We went to like
Mhm.
the city. We saw the big cherry with the spoon. Great.
No
If,
one knows what you're talking. That is not a famous enough landmark for anyone to know what you're
if
talking.
you're wondering what the hell I'm talking about, keep an eye out for my next update video, which should be launching in the next few days, by the way. Because quick announcement, I'm gonna be relaunching my YouTube channel here in the next month. Don't have an exact date. Probably should have had that, but hey, I appreciate that, Cross. Thank you so much. That actually made me happy. I could feel the endorphins rushing out of my brain.
That's good because I wanted to make a comment about how it's a lie and you're not going to release anything. I decided to instead play the kazoo, so I'm glad I went with the right choice there.
All right, this is April 1st too, so just quick
Oh yeah,
announcement. This is not an April Fool's joke.
yeah. No, he actually has been talking about this for a long time.
Yeah, it's just
Good way to go with the joke cube. Just keep on adding more details so think you're really coming back.
yeah, that way I can really build up the resentment when I finally reveal it. Thank you guys, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. But
Mm.
I think in the future, my channel will probably end up going on a hiatus again. Just to let you guys know, you put a little bit of a simmer on that. It's just I feel like whenever I have free time in my life, I feel like I'll always come back to my YouTube channel once I have
Mm.
free time and motivation for it. That makes sense, right?
Yeah, and no, it's not an April Fool's joke. I was being a jerk.
That would have been.
That would have been a
You've
pretty good April Fool's joke.
been so mean though.
Yeah,
I got a couple parts of Payday 2 though. One of them with you and across, the one that you have uploaded.
Oh, good.
Oh yeah, I had to edit the fuck out of that. That footage was pretty borked.
Mhm.
That should be fun though. Interact with you guys.
I still don't get why you guys wanted me to play that with you so much.
I got one more thing I want to play with you so badly, and it's not
What is it?
Payday. It's not Payday. I promise.
It's not a first person shooter, is it?
I mean,
Yep.
technically it is.
What does that mean? Is
Technically,
it like Portal?
no, no.
Why don't you just tell me what it is so I can reject it
Anyway,
out of
so after
What is that
after
game?
Buckus visited me in Minnesota, we hung out for a few days. Just shot the shit. It was a lot of fun. We even went to the state fair. Actually, that was awesome. We went on the big
Mm.
Ferris wheel. Went there with my real life buddy, and then he went back to Florida, and all that shit went down. Unfortunately, on September.
Well, he went to Washington.
Washington, yeah. Sorry, not Florida. My
Yeah,
bad.
they were moving from Florida to Washington. They left all their stuff in Florida too.
Yeah,
So his father had to go and deal with it recently.
they're kind of like nomads, to be honest.
Yeah, we didn't know this, but like Buckus was actually mobile through most of his life. Like they moved all over the place. I remember when he moved from Arizona, which by the way, he moved from Arizona like a month before I moved to Arizona. Like we missed him by so little. We could have met him years ago.
Passing ships
He
in the
wasn't even
night.
that far away from us. Hmm?
Passing ships in the night.
Yeah. But I was like, so where are you going to live? And he's like, oh, I don't know. It's like, we're kind of just driving around and we're going to figure out where to live. And I was like, what? That's not what? Like, I never heard of anyone just going on the road and being like, here's good. But that's how they did it. It worked out for him.
Yeah, I mean they had a house for a while there while he was going to college, just
Yeah.
to have a stationary area to go back to.
Hmm.
Yeah, we've and then after Buckus unfortunately passed, God, every time I say that it doesn't get easier. You know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah.
Also, I just don't know how much to actually talk about it realistically without over like beating it to a dead horse, that sort of thing. That's one thing I'm also
Beating it to a dead horse.
beating it to a dead horse.
The horse.
Oh no! Oh no!
I don't know
Anyway,
if that's the
moving
phrase.
swiftly on. After that, Cross 203 and myself all went to visit Just's father, which Just is
God,
Buckus's real name. But that we went to a hotel room and we just like shared memories of Buckus online, and Buckus's father shared memories of Buckus in real life, and that was a wholesome experience. I'm glad we got to do that. That was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we were out there for a few weeks.
Did we do anything else during that time? We just went like shopping and just
We went to the Mall of America.
We did go to the Mall of America?
We did, yeah.
Did we?
Oh no, cute.
I don't
wanna
remember
mention a
that,
certain
dude.
Thing that might,
I don't remember
like when you're
that.
asking what we did, you really mean it because you don't remember anything that trip, do you? Because, well, don't worry about why.
Listen, I'm okay with that. I'm okay.
Okay.
It's just
Okay.
I'm okay with
Mm-hmm.
that.
Okay.
But
What coming out?
Smoking the ganja.
Yeah. But yeah, we didn't do that. We mainly hung out. I got to play your VR for one time, which was really cool.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah.
VR, you played Super Hot, right?
The next day. Yep, Super Hot. It was. I was like I've been kind of like VR's like who cares? I don't care about it. But like after playing that, I was like, I get it. It's just all the games I had seen were stupid, but Super Hot is perfect for VR. Like just like being surrounded by three guys and you just like punch a guy and take his gun and shoot another one, and they had like punch another guy and then just like throw your gun in another guy's face, like, and you're actually doing all the motions. It was cool.
And then you reach up and slam your hand into the wall like I did 4 times.
Yeah.
I love it. But I would get into situations where I'd be like, I contort myself into a ball just because I want to avoid getting shot by a dude who just appeared in front of me with a shotgun. Because in Super Hot, when you move, the game moves, like enemies move. So that even like in VR Super Hot, when you move your hands or even your heads, everybody else moves. It's awesome.
And it does kind of create a problem because in the other game, moving counted like could walk. But there are situations where I had to take like a fake like video game karate stance and start bobbing up and down just to get people to move.
Or you do like
Or
the idle stance. I remember you doing that.
yeah, because like I was just like I need them to be closer, and then I can't walk.
So
So
if you guys could imagine Cross like just like
which
a
you can't because
fighter.
you've never seen me, but
Yeah, just imagine his picture that we've got right up there with the hair. You got to imagine the hair flowing. Let's be honest, if I made you into a fighting character, a game fighting character, I would have your hair physics be the best physics that we've ever had.
yeah, because the hair from my picture, like that's my actual hair. I haven't cut it since then. So
Yeah, and it just stopped growing, right? So
yeah, it stopped growing like after 2 years. So it's only like I don't think it's even a foot long in most places.
um so where were we?
Super hard.
So we visited
Great.
and do you want to go back to that or do you want to go back to VR?
I mean, what did we?
Oh,
What
hey.
did we?
Speaking of VR, real quick, man, this is just I'm segueing all over the place here, just like good old times. Gotta talk about the segue too. Make sure you kill the segue. But VR is coming back, man. What do you think of that? Half-Life Alyx came out. I think wasn't even announced last time we were podcasting.
No. I have a lot of opinions about Half-Life, the game series that I play all the time.
Oh yeah. I've totally played it too, even though I don't own a VR headset and haven't played it. I lied.
It's just I haven't played any of the Half-Life games, so
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, first-person shooters. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's not a genre I enjoy.
But it's got a crowbar, so it's melee.
Yeah, but it's dumb melee, right?
Yeah, it's pretty dumb. You're not going to be able to take out one of those attack helicopters with the crowbar.
Yeah, like, and that's not true to real life because I take those out all the time. So
of course,
I'm not going to play something where I can do less in a game than I can in real life.
You enable your fly hacks, and you go up to it and just keep hitting it until it explodes.
Yeah, that's all you do. It's not that hard.
God, dumb Gordon.
But like, I don't know. If you're, risking your life to save up all this money, you might be able to afford a VR thing.
I was thinking about it. I got my tax return, and I'm like, I'm not going to spend the vast majority of my tax return on a fucking VR headset that's going to be outdated in a year anyway. Because Valve is working with a couple other people to make a new VR headset, if you didn't know.
I didn't know.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Like a next-gen VR headset.
I just want to play Beat Saber. That's all I want. I think I would lose like 10 pounds if I got Beat Saber.
Why wouldn't you want to play VR chat, though?
Because I don't need the furries to be 3D, and then all of a sudden you're in like a Nazi temple, and then all of a sudden there's like just a child staring at you on a wall, and then all of a sudden, like, no, I watched that game on Twitch. It is horrifying.
Ugandan Knuckles, though, Cross. Come on.
Oh god, yeah, no, the first time I watched it, it was all Ugandan Knuckles. Like half the people are dressed up as Ugandan Knuckles. I hate that meme, by the way. That is the worst meme of the 2010s.
I disagree. Bob is the worst. I will die on this hill. I will die.
I would rather many Bobs than Ugandan Knuckles, like me ever seeing Ugandan Knuckles again.
You don't remember the YouTube comments, Cross. I didn't think they could get worse, and then Bob happened.
I was fine with it. I only got a few Bobs.
I didn't get
Ugandan Knuckles had a much more annoying effect on my life for that period of time. I mean, maybe the arrow to the knee was more annoying. Maybe. But only barely.
I think we should combine the two. Ugandan Bob.
I don't know. I don't know. I think no. All
right, guys, get to work.
We walked into a smoke shop with a Ugandan Knuckles painted on its wall, and it's like, you guys bet on the wrong meme. You painted it.
It's like getting tattooed.
To get that off.
Wait, I need to look it up. Ugandan Knuckles tattoo. It's gotta exist.
No, smoke shop.
Oh my god, it does.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
It does exist. He even put the text, "I will show you the way."
Oh, that's gonna be great explaining that to your grandkids.
I mean, to be fair, it does look pretty classily done.
That's impossible.
Let's see here. See if I can find you. There it is.
Oh
It's
God.
not too bad though. So after we visited Gary, me, you, and 203, we all just kind of went back to doing what we did, right?
Well, what happened?
Well, you had all that shit with like you had to help your
Oh
family
God.
member move,
You
and
know, 2 days after I found out that Buckus had passed, my mother called me and she's like, I'm getting evicted from my house that I've lived in for 15 years
God,
because she had bed bugs. And my mother is a hoarder, so I was hoping I could smooth it over with the landlord because I was gonna be like, I'm gonna clean up her house in a weekend. I stupid, like, insane. It took me like over a month of going there almost every single day.
damn.
Um, in the back of the apartment, it's not like a complex, it's like a house that's chopped up to three, and then there's another house, so it's like 6 different living apartments, and there is like 8 different garbage cans. I filled them up every single week, all of them. I'm sure the people there did not like me, and I had to put stuff on the side and stuff.
And
So
they took
I
it all
can't
though
even
without
tell
a
you how
problem.
much stuff I threw out. Hmm?
They took it all.
Not all of it. Some of the
Hmm.
furniture we had to take to the dump themselves, but sometimes I just put stuff there and see if they would take it, and sometimes they did, and
Yeah.
sometimes they didn't.
Sometimes they just
Uh,
don't give a shit. They're just like, I want to get back home.
well, also, they're not supposed to. They don't have. I was leaving things that they were not obligated to take, and just hoping that they would take it. Because sometimes it's more like they're just like, whatever, crush. Um, but so we're talking like 50 bags, like giant bags of garbage total. Because this was at this point like 15 years of stuff she had been hoarding, and whatever she had got us to bring over when we moved there the first time after we got kicked out for kind of because she was hoarding. So but and there was bed bugs, so I was also having like nightmares that I was like had bed bugs and I was gonna spread them to 203's parents' house, and it was ridiculous.
You had to
um
like do a check on yourself and take your clothes off or something, all that sort of
I
thing.
Yep, check, clothes off, shower every single time I came back, clothes immediately in the laundry. And no, the chances of a bed bug jumping to you and you traveling them are almost zero. They don't like things that move. It's more like you put your backpack down, they might go to it, and then you take your backpack away.
Oh,
That
I
would
didn't
be
know that.
bad. Yep, but the chance isn't zero.
Yeah.
So
Now there are
and
customers when I was working in the garden section. We deal with all the pesticides. There's some
Mhm.
customers that come in, and I just started helping them out. I'm like, kind of get close to customers sometime. They're like, I'm looking
Mhm.
for this, and I pull it up, and then I get right next to them, show them the phone, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm also looking for bed bug spray, and I'm like, yeah, let's take a big step this way, away from them.
Yeah, they likely don't. If they're even taking like small precautions, they likely don't have any on them.
Okay,
But
but still, like you
it's
said, it's not zero.
it's not zero, and it needed to be zero because I did not need 203's parents spending like a few thousand on because their house is large. It would be
Fumigation.
yeah. There's also like never mind. I don't want to talk. I know so much about bed bugs. I was studying my enemy the entire time. People who say use diatomaceous earth are full of crap. By the way, like people have been using that for so many centuries that they've like evolved to
Hmm.
avoid it. So now it's not even that effective. Like you have to call an exterminator because if you miss even one, they can come back.
What about boric acid? Does that work?
If you pour it directly on them, sure. But
You mean, yeah, they've learned to not walk directly into corrosive material,
yep,
just
yeah,
like
they've
humans.
literally evolved to avoid it.
Well, most humans.
Mhm. So, but yeah, no, that whole thing was a nightmare. 203 helped us find an apartment that wasn't in the best place in the town. Like, there's a few sketchy areas. She's in one of the more sketchy areas, but it's fine. It's actually somewhat cheap because we have a housing crisis in this area. There's no way we could move to the hometown. We had to move to the city over, and we took care. And like this entire time, I'm trying to like process, butt kiss, and I can't because I have to have every single waking moment helping my mother because there was a really strict deadline. So yeah, it was terrible. And yes, you can get bed bugs from a hotel. That's the thing. Don't put your bags on the bed. The best place to put all your luggage is the bathtub. They're probably not going to go there. But
Shit.
they're called bed bugs specifically because they don't like movement, and also they've evolved to tell when you're sleeping. So like you go to the bed, they can tell when you're asleep, and that's when they bite you, and then they go back to the bed, and
How? Just like this.
It's
Lack of movement,
they're
maybe?
attracted to human smell and they're attracted to carbon dioxide, so they can tell when you're releasing more
Mm,
carbon dioxide because you're asleep,
mm.
and that's when they're like, "This is my time." And they hate light, so you're asleep, you're releasing carbon dioxide, and you turn the lights off, it can get you.
Shit, the more you know. Well,
Yeah,
hotels, but also movie theaters. I've always been paranoid about movie theaters.
really.
Well, that makes sense, right? You can pick up a bed bug from anywhere, right?
It's true, but it's less likely because
For sure.
they, they don't like we had all these misconceptions in Exterminator because apparently they can hide in books, but the Exterminator said that like virtually never happens unless the book is right next to your bed. Because again, they don't want to move. They want to be in a place where they have like guaranteed food sources. So they're not going to crawl all the way up the shelf and be like, I'm going to hide in this book and wait for a human to sleep on me. So
I've seen the infestations though, pictures. Oh god, it's disgusting and
yeah.
I
When it
don't like
gets really bad
parasites.
though, they'll go everywhere because there's just not enough room.
Just overpopulation.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when you find them.
Yeah.
Fuck those guys. Well, I'm sorry you had to
Yeah,
go
no,
through
they're
all that
terrible.
bullshit at once, man.
If we could eradicate, we actually almost eradicated all bed bugs. It's never. I should probably stop talking about this, but I can't tell you how much knowledge I have of bed bugs now. But we apparently almost eradicated them in like the 50s or something from cities, and then there was
Wow.
just a strain that started getting immune to the pesticides that we're using, and now like all of them are into those pesticides. That's why they
Fuck.
came back, and it took like 30 years, but they're coming back huge now. So
Well, you think about that, and you think about the way it is with, bacteria. That's gonna
hmm
happen to bacteria at some point.
no, yeah, it's always a war with bacteria.
It's really crazy. I feel like we got the least worst pandemic that we could have gotten in the
Yes,
world. And
yeah.
we're still somehow fucking it up horribly. And I don't know how. It breaks my mind.
Mhm. It's mainly the virus isn't bad because it's deadly. It's bad because of how easy it is to spread. Like, did you ever play the game Pandemic?
I did, yeah. I also recently downloaded the app, which is a ripoff of Pandemic 2. It's called
Mm, Plague Inc. or
Plague
whatever.
Inc. Yeah, Plague Inc.
Yeah. Well, if you remember, the best way to spread the disease was to make it so there were no symptoms at first, but it was like highly contagious.
Yes.
And it's hard to make it highly contagious when there's no symptoms, but that's why it's so bad. You can spread it when there's zero symptoms, and the incubation or it stays around you for like 2 weeks. That's the only reason it's crazy. So, oh, oh,
Long story short, um, don't get coronavirus. Don't get bed bugs. If you
and
go,
don't get corona bugs.
oh geez, could you imagine if bed bugs like linked up with the coronavirus?
Ugh, I would never sleep again.
Going outside will increase your chances exponentially of getting both the coronavirus and bed bugs. So just don't go outside unless you need food or are dying actively. But yeah, anything
Good
else
advice,
happen
bro.
in the past like few months for you, bud?
Yeah, 203 got a very good job,
Oh yeah,
so that's been cool. She is now, however, temporarily out of work because her boss isn't getting any more jobs. She was able to work for 1 week at home, and then he was like,
dried
"I'm
up.
I'm sorry, like we don't. They're all of my jobs have canceled. They're not sending me anything." So
There's only so much you can like keep shoveling money to people who you don't have any work for, you know?
yeah, and the fact that he even paid her for that week is awesome. So like, we're definitely not begrudging. Like she was arguing like, "Are you sure you want me to?" Because she was like writing reports for him. But like if you count the amount of money that he's paying just to do that, like it wasn't worth it. As far as me personally, things haven't changed that much. I still work at home. I'm making videos and whatnot now again after my hiatus. It's mainly just I'm worried about my mother because if something happens, she will not take. Like we're actually talking. If something happens, I'm gonna have to go like live with my mother and take care of her, probably, because I'm the only one that can do that. And then I don't think I could come back to the house because I want to get 203's parents sick. But hopefully that won't happen. That's just one of the things that I'm mulling, like worst case scenarios that I'm mulling around in my head.
I mean, I'm also thinking about moving too, and I understand
Mhm.
the thought of not knowing if you're going to be living at that place in the next few months, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, you don't want to talk about your family situation. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, my sister has some mental problems, and it's been getting progressively worse, you know. So I very well might move in the next few months, like especially in the summer. If an opportunity comes up with my buddies, my IRL buddies, I'm gonna have to take it. I can't be living here anymore. It's just for various reasons, it's not doable.
Yeah.
Yeah, but otherwise, in the past few months since last podcast, I've mostly just been trying to, you know, find out how to continue what I
Mhm.
want in life because in my first that last relationship, the relationship that took me away from my YouTube channel, and I don't want to say that is what took me away because I was already stopping my channel before I was dating my first girlfriend, but it took a lot of time and I completely forgot where I was going with this. I'm sorry, dude.
I mean, that was
What
I
was I
think it
talking
was
about
that
again?
and your job. It was
Yes.
those 2 factors,
Yes.
definitely.
Yeah,
I think
full-time
I
job.
think I would say that was 100% of it, was that and your job.
Yeah. So I kind of went, lowered it there. But ever
Mhm.
since then, I've been trying to find out like what I want to do with life, and one of the biggest things is I wanted to restart my YouTube channel, which I've already announced that. You know, don't get another kazoo, I guess. Thanks, appreciate it.
I was
No, it's
there.
I don't want it now. No. It's
There you go.
perfect. 10 out of 10, man. Even better
Well,
than the
thank you.
first one. Um, well, I've just been trying to find out other things that I want to do with my life, things that are important to me. I've been trying to cut out toxic people out of my life, people who
Mhm.
are assholes in my life. I don't want to
Mhm.
spend time on those people. I don't want to actively give my time, my very limited time, to people who are going to treat me like shit. People who don't respect me. Like, why
Yeah.
the fuck would I waste my time with a person like that? It makes no sense. But
You shouldn't. You go, girl.
absolutely. But I've also been involved in a couple other relationships besides my first relationship. I'm trying to, figure out how to move on from that first relationship because that ended pretty unfortunately. You know,
Mhm.
there's a pretty big betrayal of trust, and it's hard to recover from stuff like that. But those two relationships also fell apart for various reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been a learning experience, man. The
Well,
20s are insane. Anybody who's about to get into their 20s, like, hold on to your butts, because goddamn.
well, you can't say that because my 20s, I had a total of, I think, 0 relationships and
That's fair.
just played video games and went to college without getting any relationships. So it's different for
Are you
everyone.
telling me not every single human experience is the same?
Yes. And I usually resented the people who'd be like, this is the best time of your life, like X time, because you don't know. You don't know what the best time of my life is just because it was the best time of your life. Like high school was the worst time of my life, and I had people telling me it was the best time of my life. And then I was like, so you're telling me it's all downhill from here?
Yeah, I dropped out
And
of
like,
public high school after the ninth grade, for fuck's sake.
mhm,
But yeah, I get you.
yeah. So it's no one like there's no one knows. And like, yeah, it got better after high school almost immediately. So, ugh,
Because you can
ugh,
choose who to
dog.
hang out with. You don't have to hang out with fucking Brad the dickhead.
Yeah, Chad from down the block.
Brad. Chad and Brad, two best friends who are totally
Yeah,
not homo.
Chad and Brad
Told
with
each
their
other
matching striped pants.
that they
It was
wear every
weird.
day. They have like
Yeah,
12
and
cut pairs.
but yeah, I don't.
It'll
we'll
happen, guys. You just gotta put yourself out.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Don't if you've been single, like don't. I there was a period where I was like early 30s, and I my brain kind of broke because I thought I'd be alone forever and stuff. But like I know people that got into relationships that really, really messed themselves up. Like I'd still say, Cube, you're handling what happened to you way better than almost everyone that I know. So I want to put that out there again. But like
thanks, Crust.
getting into like a really bad toxic relationship is way worse than not being in a relationship.
I'd completely agree. I think there is an aspect to understanding, like being in the toxic relationship at the moment. You don't really realize that you're in a toxic relationship, but after the
Yes.
fact, it's really good to have those markers to see. Now, am I saying is it worth it? No, it's not really worth it in any situation to go through a toxic experience, but it's nice to have, the knowledge of that fact. You can also get the knowledge
Yeah.
by talking to people who have gone through it, so you don't have to go through a horrible, shitty experience, but
And like slightly toxic, fine, because I don't want to completely denigrate like the learning experience. That is important. But if it gets too far, it can scar you. And that's not what you want. You want like minor traumas. You don't want major traumas. Like that's basically.
you don't want irreparable damage. You just want damage.
Yeah. And yeah, it sounds weird, but yes. Yeah. like, like my first relationship was actually pretty traumatizing. That's part of the reasons I didn't get into another one in my 20s. But there were definitely certain experiences that were good. It's just the bad did not like the bad was bad. like it messed me up for years. So you just be careful, and don't push things. Don't be in a relationship just to be in one. I guess.
Don't get somebody pregnant. That would be bad.
Also, that
Definitely don't want to make a child without having with experience. I was gonna say experience, but how the fuck?
yeah, even though you get experience points, and it's a lot, it's not worth it to have a child because then it takes up one of your inventory slots. Uh, get all these side quests that you have to do every day. It's terrible.
And it's like it's forced side quests too, so you can't even just
Oh
like
yeah,
go AFK and play Bannerlord for 20 minutes.
yeah. You can't do that. You have to do all your side quests first, and sometimes you run out of daytime, and then you have to sleep, and the side quests pop up again.
I've actually just been playing video games this entire time.
That's fair.
Like that one time, fucking, we had Buckus and Relic on the podcast, and they were just playing Awesome Mots apparently the whole time. We're just like, dude, like at least invite us.
I wanted it's if you can do it and no one notices, fine. But the second someone notices, then get out of here.
Yeah, I get that.
But yeah, now that there's a weird relationship advice. So this thing is, people always talk about like having children as the ultimate bad thing about going to that level in a relationship, but they never talk about the issues of being like emotionally bonded to someone you shouldn't be.
Yes.
Because if you do that, your brain starts lying to you and telling you that the other person is better than they actually are for like several months. And that can be dangerous. So, be careful about that.
And I've personally been through that experience.
Hmm.
Just looking back on a few, situations from my first relationship, it's hard to separate you from your memories. Like being
Hmm.
in that position, being like, "Oh, this is how this person did this," or stuff like that. It's hard to separate yourself, to disassociate yourself from those memories.
Yeah. And when you visited us with your girlfriend, like 203, and I did see some red flags, and we're just like, how do we tell him? Because he's not going to listen to us while he's in the relationship. And we both knew that.
Yeah. And
But
sorry if we're being too vague or like really vague in this subject, but
it's
yeah,
probably better to be vague.
yeah, probably for the best. I
We are talking about real people here.
yes, yes. And even though you guys have almost absolutely no chance of meeting her or just,
Hmm.
even online in real life or online, or very low chance of more than probably 20 people even hearing this dialogue, but
Hmm. Yeah, it's just better to be vague when there's a record
exactly.
of things.
Exactly. You got to respect people's privacy even if they aren't around. Otherwise, it's just kind of shitty of you. You know what I mean?
But yeah, speaking of Bannerlord, are we done with the have we
Yeah,
gone
yeah.
up to the
We
present
got
yet?
our little armchair therapist part of the podcast done and over with.
It's been 40 minutes.
Well, was there anything else you want to mention about the past since the last podcast? Any other big life things that you wanted to mention?
I don't think so. I had another job prospect where I was going to take care of someone's mother actually.
Mm.
But obviously that's not happening now because when you do that type of thing, you need to get tested to make sure you don't have I forget what it was, like not tuberculosis, it was something. But like I messaged the person. I was like, I don't think I should try to get those tests. That seems crazy. Nor do I think I should take care of your mother because of the pandemic. And she was like, I was thinking the same thing. Thank you for telling me.
Yeah.
So yeah, nothing crazy's really happened.
Have you thought more about like the plumber thing? I think you had mentioned.
No, that's been completely railroaded also by all of this.
Yeah.
I was gonna start looking when 203 and I knew where we were gonna live. And oh, we almost moved. I forgot to mention that. Like a few weeks ago, we were going to move into like town proper out of 203's parents' house.
Right
We
into
were
the heart
about
of
to
it.
sign a lease. And then we realized that we're completely insane for the moving day actually would have been today. So like we realized we were completely insane for doing that now. And we told the guy like he didn't seem like he wanted to hold the apartment, but he's not going to get anyone else. So, but we said like we can't. But like sorry, we met you like 2 days before we started taking this seriously, but we can't do it. So yeah, the whole plumber thing's on hold.
Didn't you say they
But
got
that is
like
something I was
pretty
thinking about.
standoffish too?
He, I think, has early stages of dementia. And I'm not saying that to be cute. Like
I'm gonna
he
vote
had
for
some
him.
severe memory problems, like a parent just from talking to him. So I don't think he would have been a great landlord. But oh boy, the location of that house. Oh, it would have been so nice.
He walks up to you, Frank. It's good to talk to you again. Fourth time this week, huh? Goes
No, it
in to
was
shake
like
your
he was like,
hand.
"You want to see the garage?" And we're like, "Yes." And started walking there, and halfway there, he's like, "I don't. What were we doing?" I was like,
Maybe he was
"Oh
just really stoned or something, dude.
no, I think he was just like 80 years old,
That
and
could be it.
yeah,
Dementia.
yeah." And he told us some things one day that he was like, "Oh no, that can't." It's like, but you. Oh,
But you said
God.
that with your words.
Also, it was kind of like a duplex, and like the thermostat was on our side, and then the other people would have had to like tell us how to
Oh.
move it.
Yeah, okay.
So it wasn't.
I think like Drake said, it's probably for the best.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Dodged a bullet.
But that location. Mm,
But that tenant, that landlord. Oh.
yeah. No, it probably wouldn't have worked out, but we're not going to find a place for that price at that location. It's not going to happen
Mhm.
again. Like we're still shocked that we even got that to see the place.
Well, at least you guys
But
are looking. I'm not even
yeah,
looking, even though I'm
203
talking
is
about
looking
possibly
constantly.
moving.
We have a dog that eliminates like 80% of the places.
Hey, you can't ditch Shinobi.
Yeah,
That good
just
old doggo. How's Shinobi doing, by the
well,
way?
he's doing great. He's gained a little bit of weight though, so we're gonna feed him a little bit less food. I think we're feeding him a little bit more food than we should have. Maybe I don't know. I don't see why else he'd be gaining weight.
It's a thyroid issue.
He's not fat. He's just not as thin as he used to
Big
be. So,
boned.
yeah, that's it. So no, I think I'm good. I want you to tell me about Bannerlord because I'm very
Yeah,
interested.
absolutely. So the long awaited sequel to Mountain Blade came out. It's called Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord, and it is everything in a Mountain Blade sequel that I could have hoped for. It's just, it looks better. Even the music is better, for fuck's sake. Better quests. Of course, it is in early access right now, and they did just release it a few days ago. So I don't know if there's even been. I think there has been a hotfix update, just to
Cool.
fix a few bugs. But they're gonna still keep adding content. But at this point, it is completely 100% playable. It seems. I've only
Awesome.
played like 5 hours of it, but yeah, it seems like everything I could have hoped for. Combat is much better. The controls are much better. It runs, well, it doesn't run better because Mountain Blade Warband is like 12 years old at this point, but
Yeah, I was gonna ask like how are the system requirements because I'm just assuming my computer can't play it at this point.
minimum is a quad-core i300. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to play it, especially if you bump the
Oh,
requirements down lower.
okay.
But I do know that they know of some performance issues that they're having problems with. But it's awesome. If you liked Mountain Blade or Mountain Blade Warband, or for some reason Mountain Blade with Fire and Sword, if you're, that type of person,
I
then
think I'll
you'll love
wait a few
Bannerlords.
months.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Then you'll love Bannerlords if you like those games.
Yeah. Awesome. Possum.
Without arthritis.
I think you probably got to go a little bit higher for that to
Oh,
make sense.
oh, okay, all right, I see. Yeah, yeah. Hey, Glyphus, I'm sorry. That's unfortunate. That's shitty.
Without our
You know, the worst part about having a pet is, losing them. It's awful.
yeah,
My cat passed away as well. I think I already mentioned that on the podcast. No, no, I didn't. Fuck. Yeah, since the last podcast, my cat passed away and my hamster died.
his hamster died while we were visiting him, and I just remember his reaction. It was just like, "Did my hamster die? Come on!" Because it was just like we were there, like mourning our friend, and like you gotta be kidding me.
I remember thinking that to myself. I'm like, this fucker's gonna die when they're here, aren't they? Isn't he? But I buried him with my ex. We dug a little hole in the back and smoked and buried him.
Mm.
God, just a lot of weird experiences
Yep.
these last few years. But I'm glad to have you around, Cross. It does help to have friends to talk to, and that's one of the biggest issue too with the past happenings in the past 6 months or so is my online friend group has shrunk considerably. It's sad because the only people that I really play with online anymore are Cross 203 and Bucket. And
Relic.
and Relic, yeah. Yeah.
And like we're hanging out with Taz a bit more, but like everyone I just mentioned has jobs,
Yeah.
and 203 and Cube have actually pretty different schedules. So usually by the time Cube is ready to do something, 203 is like going to bed. So
Yeah, I mean, I work till about 10 p.m. 203 has a job where she has to get up at a normal time.
yeah, like at 7.
So
in the
that right
morning.
there, that makes issues. Let me see if I can find my Twitter post about that, Drake, for you. Yeah, my freaking hamster. I miss that little bastard. His name is Dexter.
Yeah. But
I got a new cat.
I think you have a new cat.
Yeah, his name is Snuggles.
Do you remember when? All right, I guess I'll be vague again. We were sneaking down to do laundry, but we didn't want to wake someone up.
My sister.
And then so I'll be less. I don't know why I'm being that vague, but we didn't want to wake his sister up because she might attack us and start crawling on the ceiling. So we snuck down and we were like super quiet, and then all of a sudden the cat just came up behind us and was like meow meow meow. And we're like, no, shut up! You're gonna give us away, friends. So they almost gave up the ghost. Like we're almost caught because of that. But we got down, we did the laundry without there being any issues and snuck back up. But
like in a cartoon or something. It's like we were doing good too. We didn't mess anything up.
I hadn't heard that cat do that since we had been there either. It's just being a dick.
I'm gonna fuck you guys over. You ready?
It's just like alert, alert, intruders, intruders.
But yeah, we can talk about what's going up on our channel or something if that's what you were talking about. Or
That's true. You can actually do that because you're gonna have things coming up on your channel.
Oh my god, that's
also,
insanity.
You've been doing so much editing on those streams that if you had been doing videos, you probably would have like 20 videos ready.
See, the thing is though, I don't want Drive Not Found streams to go up on my personal channel, and the reason for that is because I don't want to kill my channel with the YouTube algorithm. It's already gimped, I'm sure, from not uploading from 3 or 4 years. We'll see how that bounces back.
Yeah, but no, I just mean the amount of time that it took to do that. If you were instead making videos, you'd probably have like 20 videos.
Oh, I see what you mean.
The streams.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, undoubtedly.
So like, you've already worked the time required to maintain a channel into your life with your current schedule, so it shouldn't be too crazy.
Yeah. And I do also have, when I was going through, so there's 10 different sessions of me and Buckus playing Saints Row the Third up on the Drive Not Found YouTube channel. When I was going through them, starting from part 3, I put down markers at all the best bits, so I might also make like a highlights video, but don't hold your breath on that. It's just some of those parts were legitimately great. Fuck. Me and Buckus just had that had some sort of chemistry that I don't think I've ever had with somebody else.
Yeah, I remember I watched some of that and it was good. It's that part where he was just making a character for like 40 minutes of the stream. It's like, oh, we fast forward past that part.
I did. Absolutely.
Yeah, you cut all that out. It's a bit excessive.
But
But
what
like,
is
what's
Oh,
coming on
god
your
damn it.
channel?
You beat me. Damn it. Damn it.
You gotta go first.
So, the number one thing, first of all, that's going to go up on my channel, probably in a few days, maybe on 4/4/20, I'll probably put out the
Oh my god, it's 420 even now.
I guess just the whole
It's like a,
month. Just the whole month,
yeah,
I
the whole
guess.
month.
4/20 the whole month, I guess. That'll be great for, launching my YouTube channel. I won't be able to think straight.
Mm,
But I might put out that update video on 4/4. That seems like a good time to do it.
why don't you do it now?
Cause 8/4/4, or maybe I could upload that video now. I wasn't gonna upload it today because it's April Fools, and I don't want people to think it's a joke.
Oh,
Yeah, but the update
that's
video just
fair.
is the update video. If you guys are wondering, listening, it's mainly talking about Buckus, and then also just
That'd be a
some other
pretty
things I
bad
mentioned.
joke.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty shit joke, but I'm
Yeah,
not gonna put it out there because I'm sure there's gonna be at least one or two people. Hell, if I had something like that come out by a big YouTuber I was following on April 1st who hadn't uploaded in a while, I'd
yeah.
kind of see that coming too.
Hmm.
But yeah, other than that update video, Payday 2 undoubtedly going to go up as soon as possible. That's with Cross Nights and Buttkiss. And then after that, we've got like Monaco coming up.
Ugh.
It's like
Why do
potato.
you say it like that?
It's like potato Cross, except Monaco.
Oh, that's it. I'm leaving.
I mean, I can probably go for the next 3 minutes 15
That's fair.
seconds.
That's not much of a threat. At this
Yeah, not
point.
really. See you later, bud. Thanks for coming in.
Oh, later.
But yeah, and then just whatever else I have. I want to record a Half-Life 2 mod and get that posted up as well. I feel like Payday 2 and Half-Life 2 should definitely be at the top of the list, especially if I'm making a comeback.
What
But
about Alien Swarm?
oh crap, yes, Alien Swarm. Of course. That's with myself, Cross Knights, 203, Buttkiss, and Relic. The 5 of us. It's a
Full crew.
great series. 4 parts of fully edited. Got it all just ready to upload and hit publish. So look forward to that.
Edited for months.
Absolutely. Like, we even watched the first part back when
Yep.
I visited Cross in 203 with Buttkiss. That's how long ago it's been. How long it's been sitting there. But what about you, Cross? What's going up on your channel in the next few months?
I just came off of my hiatus, but I just now released Risk of Rain with Butkus. I might release the second episode I have with it. I probably should have just released the second one. The sound was corrected, but I don't know. I didn't want to delete either one, so it'll probably be just those two, and then there's no more. I haven't really played that game because I bought it with Butkus. And you can play it by yourself. It's just not as good, and it's actually harder. And so that'll be that. Then I've recorded one Kingdom Rush video, one Hades video. It's really going to be freaking random for a little bit. And my plan was to record the PlayStation 2 games Mercenaries, where you're a mercenary in North Korea trying to stop a madman who has a nuclear bomb. So, not true to life at all because North Korea is apparently bad at making nuclear bombs, even though they're trying. So, but yeah, but unfortunately, my capture card has decided not to work anymore, and it will not work unless I can find the disc for it, which I have not seen since we moved in September. So instead, I'm going to play Jet Set Radio, the game where you roller skate around a town, graffitiing places
Holy
while cops
shit.
try to literally murder you.
I'm actually kind of looking forward to that more than Mercenaries, I'm not going to lie. Because
That's fair.
I feel like... so what happened about I remember you didn't want to do it before because of the copyright issues. What happened to that? Did you just get over it, or...
I have so many copyrighted videos on my channel and ad revenue matters so little now that yes, I'm just gonna take and I uploaded a test and oh boy, you had to get hit by like 5 copyrights immediately.
Hey, that's a
So,
copyright deadlock. That means nobody gets the money,
yep.
right?
As long as one of the companies doesn't decide to block me, there was a situation where my vampire videos were actually getting blocked instead of just demonetized. So that took a few months to take care of, but they're all back now.
Cool.
I feel like there's one. Oh, Shovel Knight. I also have some Shovel Knight videos. So That's 5 different things going to come out in the next few weeks, so it should be coming back with a bang.
Kind of a hodgepodge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. Frick, I also, in a way, since you took your hiatus in March, right?
Mm-hmm. And you took one for 2 years.
Yeah, no, actually 3. It's been a long time, man. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
But I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, I should kind of line this up a little bit too with Cross. That way we'll have like a double whammy comeback. It'll be pretty cool, right? Especially for all the people sitting in their house going crazy. They'll be able to listen to our voices. But anything else you want to mention, Cross?
No, I'm good.
All right, I think we should wrap up the podcast here. Thanks so much for coming out, guys. Thank you for joining me, Cross. And thanks to everybody for watching the Waiting Queue Podcast. This has been the Waiting Queue Podcast for 4/1/2020. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take it easy.